Hey now. Yo, I should thank you for that. How's it going, Foundational? Thank you. See, when a subscriber says something in chat, uh, I can actually see it gets highlighted for me. So that's pretty cool. So, subscribers, your message gets highlighted when you type something in chat. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. I don't know. In the old days, I would always make sure my mic worked before I started the stream. But, hey, when you're not a streamer, thank you. You didn't miss anything. Just going to I'm going to identify what we talked about kind of high level last stream. And I think I'll make little video clips. And no one wants to watch a 4-hour stream on YouTube. And I don't want to, So far what I have is best starting zone, creature settings, and best end game goal. I don't know if anything else came to mind, but so I think best starting zone, and this is just my opinions. Dune Desert, best starting zone. Actually, I should save this file. You have? Okay, thank you. Creature settings. Advanced. Okay, you have to have your game up. Have game up. Then advanced game settings. End game goal, uranium. Uranium. Nuke plants. How many can you make? How many can you make? Yeah, in my opinion, the best starting zone is Dune Desert because it has the most pure nodes. Creature settings, you can turn them on, turn them off. I love passive mode. They just get annoying after a while, although it's a fun activity. Best end game goal, uranium nuke plants, because if you make a lot of them, they really put stress on your systems, your production, and you can't turn it off. I mean, your uranium plants are constantly needing the inputs, constantly. And that's the good thing about it. So it's a really good test of all your systems. How many can you make? How many can you make? Go for 60, go for 80, go for 100. If you go for high numbers, you won't be able to use the concrete recipe because it uses twice the amount of uranium. So that causes you to push even more systems. So that's, I think, a great endgame goal. Yeah, it's a good idea, Gray. Gray knows what to do. He's been streaming for 84 years, just like me. But he actually knows what to do. Let's see where we left off last time. Between now and Sunday night, there'll probably be quite a bit of streaming for reasons, whatever reasons. So there's going to be this weekend. There'll probably be some late afternoon into the night streams, possibly. And there's no way I would be able to do that with my main save. It's just too, although I might go back to there at some points. It just depends on... I'm really waiting for them to come out with... see what's coming out next. That'll kind of drive what it is I want to do on my main game. Let's take a quick look at where we've come, where we're going. I gotta take a quick break. I'll be back in a second. Riddler Man. Oh, Riddler Man's here. Nice. Yeah, it's been a while. Don't, you never know. I could stream a few days and then you never see me again. You never know what's going to happen. Thank you, Riddler, for coming in. Gray's been streaming ESO. Absolutely. That scares the hell out of me every time I hear that. I'm like... What's the statute of limitations? I mean, I was in my 20s. Jesus Christ, are you still going to come after me? She looked 18, okay? Jesus, give me a break. Anyway. Yeah, this kind of the morning show. And we'll see how it goes. I think it's good to take breaks, but sometimes I take breaks and, I never come back, or ever, or... I just don't have any other game I really want to play. And we're waiting, we'll get update 8 on this game, whatever that is. They always over-deliver. And we've got... spring is coming up. Hey now. Thank you. Spring is coming up. So, I'm actually, we've got Starfield, maybe. But the only other really thing that, I've already purchased is Diablo 4. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I'm not really big on ARPGs. It's a nice little side thing to do for a few days. But, I don't know. There's some other build-it games coming and stuff like that, and I'm kind of like, at my age and stuff. The micro skills, I mean, I need something that's a little slower. I like these slow, methodical, build-it, AFK to some degree at some points. Satisfactory to me, no game comes close. Build-it games, especially in a 3D environment, I mean, nothing even touches this game. This, it's not even there's no discussion. Nothing touches Satisfactory if you're into this kind of stuff. I don't know what I'm looking for with Diablo 4. It's going to be 3 days of, oh, this is pretty fun. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And I'm just going to start being like, okay, grind, top-down look. Constantly staring from above. Let's set the milestone for the next thing, and we'll get going on that. Concrete's going to unlock. Great. Screws, reinforced plates. We need all these things. And then soon we'll get power, too. Oh, thanks, Foundational. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I got some messages saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I should at least say something, you know. Yeah. There's people that gave me a bunch of names of games a few months ago. Icarus is one of them. Dyson Sphere, which reminds me, it's like I thought it was a vacuum cleaner, and and then Stellaris. I own Stellaris. I did try it for a while I was on break. Yeah, I got to check in on the elderly. Is that guy okay? So I went 2.5 years, or whatever it is, without catching COVID. And I'm like, hey, I'm Superman. So I'm like, okay, it's time to start going back to the gym. So I start going back to the gym like 6 weeks ago. Within 2 weeks, I caught COVID. It was the weirdest. I didn't even sneeze once. The worst part of it is a sore throat. And I mean a sore throat. To end all sore throats. I couldn't even swallow, it hurt so much. So that went for about 5 days. After the stream yesterday, I went ahead and picked up the copper ore and made wire and cable. It's the only thing I've done different. At these beginner nodes, we've got, not beginner nodes, at the beginning of the game, we always work with pure nodes. That's another thing. Yeah, we always work with pure nodes. Go for the win. So we've got portable miners on here for now, and then we've got craft benches right next door, so we can craft ingots and whatever else we want to do. Early game. Let's go ahead and unlock the next tier, and then we're going to make concrete so we can start doing foundations. Yeah, it's like, I think it's just like probably a bunch of young people at the gym. And, they're carriers. And, So I escaped it for all this time, and I'm like, okay, it's time to go back to working out, One moment. There's something called a COVID cough, which could theoretically last up to 6 months. It progressively, like, I had it, but it just, every week it gets less. It gets less and less every week. I'm at a point now to where maybe a little cough once per day. So, and I figure the immunity gets built up, because I haven't had a cold in 12 years. So, Yeah. And I was taking C all day long, and I have D and fish oil right here. So, okay, let's go ahead and do this. We'll just ease into the thing here. So I'm just going to control and left click to load it all in. Cool. I don't know. That's what I keep hearing.
Congratulations. You have unlocked Scanner Feature, Limestone. New buildings and recipes, which can be found in the Build menu and Craft bench, respectively.
We already know where the limestone is.
Complete hub upgrade 4. Note. Use power poles.
We got to get biomass burners unlocked, and then we'll be going biomass burner power, and the big thing we're looking towards would be coal power, because then that's automated power. Yeah, there's a lot of people that didn't go for the vaccine, and to be honest with you, I almost regret. I got it twice in 2021. looking back on it now and looking at all the evidence, if I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't get it. Probably. But hey, hindsight is 2020. Okay, so this is done. We can make screws, reinforced plates. We have power poles now, and we have constructors. Scanner update for limestone. We have limestone pure node right nearby. Bingo. That can only be one person. That's your walk-on sound. Hey now is Heideo's. Logins is the crickets. Thank you guys for, I don't have to do anything. You got your own walk-on sound. Hey now. Hey now. Thank you guys. Oh, I miss hearing that. I really do. I miss it. Yeah, I think most people don't need it. But when you have like craziness, who knew? This is interesting. Conveyor poles is in the next unlock. Now, I never use these. They just automatically happen. I'm going to try to use these to see if I can make a manifold out of them. I usually wait for another unlock to make multi-level belt drives for manifolds. I think I can use this to make a manifold. And I usually just ignore these things. Individual conveyor poles. So we'll try that this time when I start my first production of stuff. Let's select that milestone, and let's go get some portable miners on the 100%. Let's get some portable miners. I know it's time to stop, but we must continue on. We must try. Let's get some portable miners over on the limestone. A 1 and a 2 and a 3. And let's start making some concrete. Concrete is going to be used to make foundations. I recommend putting all machines and all your stuff in storage containers on foundations. I keep watching streams of new players who, first of all, they all start in the green area because the game tells them to. Then they're putting machines all over on the ground. I recommend just to get them onto foundations. Get in the habit. So a scanner update now has copper, iron, and limestone. But I put this here earlier. Nice. Didn't need to make those things. I'll put down more. Let's do this. Might as well put down more since since I made them. Hello. You know what the best thing about starting a new save is? When the save takes place, it happens instantly. Oh, did I miss something? I see a bunch of highlighted messages. Zerifax, how's it going? Thank you. Thank you for the raid. I was looking through my old messages, and I saw that there were raids from Zerifax, and I'm like, I remember now. That person, I got like 4 or 5 raids from Zerifax. And, because I've been gone for like 4 months. And so thank you for that raid. I do appreciate it. Did I see DC Wan in the chat? Did I see BL Andrew in the chat? We got some Satisfactory heavyweights here. Let's just check up here. Thank you so much for that raid. So I know Zerifax must be streaming Satisfactory. BL Andrew, who streams, like I lurk in your stream at night. And I know DC Wan probably was like me. I think took a break from the game. The beans are coming out. Thank you. Thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Thanks for remembering me. I haven't streamed in like 4 months, so today's my second day back. We are doing a new build, and the intent of this build is to kind of help if there's any new players. So I'm going to take this and move it up to YouTube. The stream, move it up to YouTube. Just trying to help new players. My real save, I'm kind of waiting, guys. I'm kind of waiting for update 8 and all that kind of stuff. So I figure this is a good opportunity to maybe, if we can help some new players, just kind of get going. DC Wan, thank you. Pumpkinhead, how's it going? Thank you. Owlmine, thank you. Nefonor, Diehard, Dave. Kana, oh, really? You saw that? Did I have that in there on the rules? Yeah, and if Andrew's working with his Zork, how's it going? I'll catch up on chat. Thank you so much, Zerafax. If you continue to work on your main save, yeah, it's definitely going to take a long time. I consider myself still learning the game, to be honest with you, even after all these hours. So every once in a while I do like to start a new save and redo things that I thought are just unredoable. You know, what I would have to do to tear down an entire biome. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, I'll just make a new save and bite the bullet, if you know what I mean. I mean, you guys know what, like, oh, I'll make a new save, you know. No, it's not like that. You make a new save after working so hard on your current one, you kind of realize what you're up against, the amount of hours and effort you put in. So totally understandable if you're still sticking with the one. Is 9 minutes for real? Mine's about 30 seconds. Yeah, Zerofax, it's been months. Yeah, I know DC WAN. I mean, there's some regulars from the old days that were streaming, and I know DC WAN was one of them. Canuck, and then I left, took a long break, and I'm like, oh, the regular streamers aren't there. I know Andrew comes in the afternoon my time, and so he's still coming in. And lately, I think Andrew may have taken a break too and has come back. So I'm noticing some people coming back for streaming the game, stuff like that. Some of us might be like, okay, we know update 8 is coming soon. We need some new things. We need some new things to shoot for in this game. No doubt. Okay, let me get just caught up on chat. Thanks again, Zerafax, for the raid, and then we'll get back to this thing that I'm trying. Instead of making a video series, I decided to stream a guide series. I don't know if this is going to work out. It's just like, you know, I don't know if any new players are going to struggle through an entire VOD of mine. Because I was trying to think, I want to make a series like for new players, new player help. But then I'm like, you know, I just don't feel like it. I'd rather live stream. So I'm trying to do like a guide series while I'm live streaming. Good to see you guys. It's really like other streamers and stuff. It warms my heart, you know, Zerafax, Andrew, Wan. A lot of people don't realize how, you know, streaming looks easy. It looks easy as a viewer, but I will tell you, as a streamer, it's not as easy as it looks. It's not that easy. So thank you guys. You can just keep E down and when running to cut plants. Really? Just hold down E? Don't count the only tab half the words. Yeah, that's the thing. My main save, I still have tons of like pure nodes that I haven't touched yet. Stuff like that. I'm just hoping that they, for me, I don't really go for aesthetics. Let me get caught up on chat. Thanks, guys. How's it going, Zelgod? Yeah, the second day back after many months off. Thank you, Zerafax. Any raids that come in, I do appreciate it. If anyone raids me, you are not required to chat. You can raid and run. Totally, you are not required to say anything to me if you raid me. If you come in on a raid, you are not required to say anything. I just appreciate the raid. You know, I do it all the time. I just raid and run. So I do appreciate it. If you guys got to go, have a great day. It's not as easy as it looks, I'll tell you right now. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys. And if there's any streamers that I don't know of, you can promote your own channel. I actually don't care. So guys, anyone in here that's for me, make sure to give DC Wen a follow, Zerofax a follow, BL Andrew a follow. BL Andrew is very technical. If you want to really understand this game technically, he's very technical. And so I appreciate it, guys. What I'm hoping they do in the future is I'm less about aesthetics, and I just like mass production. What I'm hoping they do in the future, otherwise I have to do it myself, is give me motivations to make a lot of end-game products. That would be good. But I came up with my own end game. Until then, and I came to the conclusion in my last save that the best way to do that, besides just syncing stuff for coupons, which I've done before, is uranium power plants. How many can you make? Not plutonium, because I don't like the waste. Now, hopefully they give us something to do with the waste in the future. That would be great. My OCD is not going to work with having to store plutonium waste. To me, my end game, I have figured out, is uranium power plants. How many can you make? Because those put constant stress on your production systems. How many uranium plants can you make? That's my end game. Okay, let's put down a craft bench here. They're basically free. And let's, and now the fun part, guys. We get to sit here and do nothing. The Starfield stuff. Yeah, thanks for that. They're going to be doing a deep dive on Starfield. Streaming is always easier when chat is busy. Yeah, Zork, that's true. But I started streaming. Yeah, I am going to be streaming Starfield. I started streaming in 2016. I've been through it all. You know, I have started my stream before and have gone 45 minutes without one message in chat. So I've been through it all. The glory days of Neverwinter, the dead days of whatever it was I was streaming. So my attitude towards streaming is, when I start to stream, I assume that nobody is going to show up. That's my assumption. And so I've learned to, I'm just going to do my thing and talk. So I'm okay if chat dies. You have to be prepared for that as a streamer. But I understand what you're saying. Nuke Novelist. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I do have creatures on passive right now, by the way. Ashes of Creation is who knows, but I bought into it, so we will play that. I don't consider myself variety, but there's so many games coming out this year that we're gonna have to check out some other games. But I will tell you, Neverwinter used to be like there was a time when Neverwinter, the MMO, was like, the amount of hours I put in, it was my favorite game of all time at one time. I'm telling you that Satisfactory is starting to kind of take over in terms of being, my favorite game of all time. It really is. And maybe it's because of where I am in life and stuff like that. Okay, we've got some concrete, so it looks like we probably have everything we need for the next unlock. We'll be going pretty slow on this because the intent was to help new players, but I don't know if there's any like I don't know if new players need help. You know what I mean? I think there's a few things new players really could use help on. But some of this stuff, you know, maybe it's just intuitive. I've seen some new players who are streaming, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, why didn't I think of that? You know what I mean? There's some, like, a lot of engineers play the game. I'm like, damn, why didn't I do that? So it's freaking incredible. When we Company of Heroes, yeah. So you guys are checking out other games this year. Between this year and next year, there's going to be a lot of new games. And so, hell yeah. You like building bridges, belts, yeah. Yeah, 4 years straight. Yeah, I'm telling you, I've played this game off stream 10 times more than I've played it on stream. I do enjoy, I mean, I'm kind of a, I'm a introvert. So, I mean, I actually prefer playing games off stream. To be, if I have to be honest with you, I love playing Satisfactory off stream. Yeah, there's a lot of engineers and IT professionals. And then I'm sitting here and someone is like, hey, new streamer here, new game, new save. And then they're 100 hours in and I'm like, Jesus Christ, It's beautiful. What you just did, Yeah, Lord Shadow, I've been gone for about 4 months, came back yesterday. And I've been playing Satisfactory a lot on my main save. My main save was like, guys, new players. Okay? New players. Okay, have you heard the expression, grab the bull by the horns? New players, have fun, but embrace trains. They are wonderful when they work, and they work most of the time. Don't be afraid of trains. It is to me, trains is what puts this game over the top. It really does. And I see a lot of new players just running conveyor belts across the map, which is fine. I did that all the time. And there was a time I was afraid of trains. And new players, embrace trains. In this playthrough I do, when we get to trains, I am going to show you trains. Like, it's Trains 101 for dummies. We're going to go so slow, and I'm going to attempt to make it to where you will love trains. I just believe this is one of the best parts about this game are trains. Splitting off big main buses. Andrew, well, when you say big main buses, well, I mean, you mean conveyors? I mean, you use smart splitters, right? You can use, it depends on if you're mixing goods, you can use smart splitters. Even if you're not, you can split and overflow. I actually use smart splitters as load balancing, for load balancing. So I want these things to fill first and then the overflow to go this way. So I instead of using splitters into splitters into splitters, I use smart splitters. Fill and then overflow. Fill and overflow. Okay, let's unlock this. That's right. Just keep trying different things. Because what do you got to lose? You know what I mean? Okay, let's unlock the next one and then we'll kind of settle in here. Thanks again to Zerafax for the raid, and it was so nice of Zerafax to raid, and then so nice of some people to chat, and then I saw some other streamers in there too, so I really do appreciate the other streamers who who, you know, they like for a streamer to come in and chat, and they stream too. So thank you guys. It's a great community. How's it going, Bofi? Thank you for the Prime sub. I do appreciate that. Thank you. You want to set the output speed? Yeah. There's a bunch of changes to trains I want. But I'll just take what they give us, you know what I mean? Let's unlock that. Thank you, Bofi, for the sub. I do appreciate it. And thank you guys for visiting the channel today.
You have unlocked building, conveyor belts, and poles. Inventory.
We started a new save yesterday, and the intent is to help new players. And also, I'll tell you what, on this save, there's something I don't do very much of anymore, and that's use vehicles. I feel like trains have kind of made vehicles obsolete. For me, my main save, I don't have one vehicle running. It's trains, and I don't run conveyors between factories, only within factories. So I've got trains between factories. I've got drones. I found a really good use for drones, guys. All the uranium is being delivered via drone. I found a good use for drones. I love using drones. But I'm trying to find a way to use them. I use them to deliver the uranium over to the nuclear site in the North Ocean. It worked out really good. I spend about 33 hours a week watching engaging. Yeah, that's good. That is always. Andrew's 100% correct. I always have Satisfactory streams running, even when I was not playing this game. For some reason, on my big screen, I've got like the big screen with the computer hooked up into it. So cable TV is over there. There's another big screen with the computer hooked into it. And that's always on, it's YouTube and it's Twitch. I always have Satisfactory streams running. I'm not sure why. And you know what I enjoy? Oddly enough, in terms of viewership, I've been enjoying watching co-op play. And I'm not sure why that is. Maybe because of this interaction between the people talking to each other. I've been enjoying watching some co-op streams. It's actually quite fun. And then every once in a while, I'll bring up a stream and it just warms my heart. I see the ultimate plate of spaghetti. And I remember my spaghetti builds. And I've seen some spaghetti builds that put my spaghetti build to shame. And I'm just watching, and I just love looking at the spaghetti builds. I just love it. Yeah, and I kind of discovered that on my own. 50% left, great. I kind of discovered that on my own. I'm just like, what am I going to do? Okay, you can get up to 1,500 per minute, I believe, with the 3 nodes. I'm going to move it all. I'm doing all my nuclear in the North Ocean. Am I going to use a train to move uranium? I'm not using vehicles. I'm like, let me just put some drones up. I only put 2 drones. I have a battery factory. I have drones at the battery factory to do nothing more than to deliver batteries to drone ports around the map. So I set that up early. And I use the sulfur recipe, the alternate recipe for batteries. So you don't need the acid and all that kind of stuff. So I put 2 drone ports at each uranium site. And of course I overclocked them and all that kind of stuff. And then I put, matching drone ports over at the nuclear site. And I just put a drone on each port and pointed them to each other. And right now I have 60 uranium plants. And I still have drones hovering over the top. So I could still push more through without even adding more drone ports. So that's 750 per minute I'm pushing. So that's 50% of what's available, I believe. So I'm pushing 750 through to get 60. And I think I may have made a mistake there. I think I could have done more if I used the beacon recipe, possibly. But and I'm not using the concrete recipe because that uses twice the amount of uranium. So that's 750. So I think drones are just, I'm like, hey, I can't see any other better way to get uranium over here than to use drones. And I only have 2 drone ports per site, but I got 2 drones pointing to each other. So, I mean, the throughput is great. Yeah, it is. It is. And I didn't look at any guide or anything like that. I'm just like, hey, this seems natural to me. Who's totals? Love hanging in total stream? What's total? I don't know what totals means. Is that a person or? Yeah, I've seen some spaghetti builds that I just love looking at it. I'm like, this is just, this is so like, it's just fun to watch. And then. Then it comes time to scale up. Oh, total eclipse. Yeah, I'm sorry. Of course. He, I got to give him credit. If for anything else, there's one thing I learned from Total. When I was like a few years ago, I didn't know, I was having trouble, like getting goods into machines. And, of course, it's like common sense now or whatever. It's common knowledge now. I was looking for a better way. And I really don't watch a lot of YouTube guides. I try not to watch too many. But he made a guide on, what do you call it? The manifold? And that was, to me, that ended up being like the most important thing that I've learned from someone else was from Total Eclipse video. So total. Okay, guys, we'll continue on here. Thank you guys for coming in. Yeah, and he set it up, and he also did a thing where he left the bottom one open so that you can walk under. And I do that practice to this day. To this day, I leave the bottom one open because that came from his video. So that was brilliant. Okay, so we're starting to bump up a little bit here. We're going to be unlocking storage container, MK1 mining, inventory slots. I'll have to go around and just kind of get some sulfur and stuff to unlock those whenever the MAM comes. And then when we do unlock the sink, we got to throw some crap in there. There's a couple must-haves for me from the store. First one that comes to mind is the lift hole is number 1 purchase for me, the lift hole. And then, of course, not too long after that is going to be the pipeline hole so that I can have attachment through foundations. So through foundations for lifts, through foundations for pipes. Those are like initial big purchases for me in the store when we get the sink available. Okay, so it looks like I already have enough for this. I'm going to attempt to make this whole thing like as a new player experience. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm going to try to use vehicles on this one. So I'm thinking potentially of, whereas before I was using trains between factories in a zone, I may attempt here to use vehicles between factories in a zone, a biome, and then use trains for possibly between biome movement and globally around the map movement. I want to try to incorporate vehicles into this build because I just don't use them much. And to see the idiosyncrasies about them and stuff like that. Yeah, so we'll see. I'll try to make it look like a cityscape kind of thing where you have production, warehouses, and then vehicles moving stuff between local facilities. and then longer distance would be train. And then we front that to a train station. You know, bordering like another biome or something like that. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Oh, the power outlets. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's a good one too. The other thing is, I'm really bad. Like, if there's a lot of talk, it's like, it's hard for me to play and talk at the same time. So if I really get into discussions about this game or about other games, sometimes I just forget to do anything and I just concentrate on the talk. Normally my stream title does have the words gaming talk in the stream title. We do cover a lot of games here on the stream. We talk about them in depth. So normally gaming talk is in the stream title, but it isn't right now. Okay. MK minus done. Storage containers. Good. I need the storage container. More inventory slots. Good. The next upgrade. Yeah, this is what we're looking for next. Is the biomass burner, so I can get some power out. So we're going to go through all this stuff for these unlocks up to the point where they want you to, the next unlocks are done through the space elevator. So it's kind of a good break right there. And I'll probably then, take a look at where we are. Should I start looking for hard drives and stuff like that? I think there's some early hard drives that are going to be good. And I'm considering, for steel, I think I'm just going to make a huge ingot factory for steel, and then move the ingots to other factories, derive factories for beams and pipes. Beams cost a lot to make, but there's an alternate recipe to use pipes for encased beams. So when we get that, we definitely going to be switching there. See what's next. Yeah, I want this. And I've got everything I need, basically. Let's go make some rods. And then I'm going to put a storage container right here just for kind of local storage kind of thing. So this one here, I'm going to put in power slugs and meat and these artifacts that have been here forever, like forever, and we still don't know exactly what that's all going to be about. The story that's coming, I mean, for me it's like fine, but what I want and what a lot of other people want is ultimately, if they can do it, we want more tiers, obviously. We've unlocked phase 4 and it's a placeholder. So they're probably holding off on that for the big release of the game. So we'll probably get like new tiers that maybe it will come with the release of the game to really kind of kick it up a notch. And that's going to really be exciting. I just want reasons to make a lot of stuff. That's what I'm hoping for in future. Reasons that are like your call. We don't want it to be required because they do still want this to be kind of a sandbox kind of game, like do your own thing kind of thing. Okay, I think I'm already good to go on this. Let's just go, let's make some, but just for now, until I get factories going, I just gotta make some stuff, a little bit of stuff. We gotta unlock the biomass burners, and then I'm gonna lay down a foundation for string together maybe 4 biomass burners. Then we are gonna, I know what I need to unlock. I need to unlock the chainsaw. Then we're going to go chop a bunch of trees and we're going to feed that stuff into a constructors to make the fuel, and we'll start stacking that fuel, and then we'll load it into the biomass burners. So we have to chop trees, but we'll automate the fuel making process of the solid biofuel. So we got more unlocks to do, and I might as well just do things manually until we get to, you know. They should have world bridge goals. I don't know. Thank you, Skash. That came out of left field. What? Doing good. Would you like help bringing the game engine down to its knees? I think someone like BL Andrew probably did it already.
Radio.
BL Andrew is working towards that goal. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Follows don't... Guys, in this game, follows are valuable. I don't get a lot of follows on Satisfactory. Thank you. I don't think there's ever going to be Twitch loot drops for this game. Oh, I got to heat this up. Yeah, it's he's working with the same. Yeah, my main game I've got 1,200 hours in right now that I started like many months ago. And it's about a 20-second save, and that feels like forever. I think I'm saving every 20 minutes or so. Yeah, I don't see how you would be able to do loot drops with this game. It does not matter. You're going to quit the game forever. And when I don't know about that, Zell. Improvements, Zell. First of all, Starfield might get delayed. Second of all, I don't remember what I was going to say. Second of all, Starfield might suck. I'm not used to, like, if I have a game that's got a lot of dialogue, I start to really zone out. And Starfield's going to have a lot of dialogue. I might, I'm going to have to readjust my attitude and become a role player. You know, it's an RP. So Starfield's an RP. Let's make plates, guys. Plates are 3-to-1. Rods are 1-to-1. I think we'll probably, because there's so many notes here, we'll probably make a plate factory, a rod factory, a screw factory, all on separate nodes. The other option is to just make an ingot factory and then deliver those to other factories to make the rods, plates, and screws, separate factories. So I got to decide how I want to do that. I don't have, for iron ingots, alternate recipes, I don't know about that. But anyway, we're so early in the game. I got to decide, do I want to make ingot factories or do I just want to make the real deal? I don't do super factories, or I don't do mega factories. I don't do big mega factories. I like separating things out. Push things into separate buckets. You're this factory, you make this thing. And if it needs parts, I deliver those parts. You know, my main build, I deliver it with trains. It's about trains, 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 trains. My main build, I'm just like, you know what, is going to be trains and trains and trains. So you know, I have no fear of trains anymore. Self-therapy, you know, cognitive therapy. Expose yourself to your fear every day. All right, let's go see what we got. We got to unlock this other thing and do the other thing. And yeah, this local area I chose for new players, I don't see, for me, this is the best area. I've got pure limestone, pure iron, pure copper, pure caterium. Plus, you're in this area. This biome is just loaded with pure nodes. I love this as a starting area. Talk is Minesweeper, Pong, Tetris, Klondike. The Minesweeper, yikes. You're bringing me back to the early 90s now. Yeah, Zell, I don't know. I mean, what do you usually stream? I took 4 months off, Skash. Skash. I love that name. Hey, Skash. I feel like, you know, I'm an anime character. Hey, me and Skash, we're gonna go... Zell. I'm not a variety streamer. I don't even know if I consider myself a streamer. I identify as... you know what? I'm a viewer. I identify as a viewer. Okay, let's see what we got here. Constructors, smelters, Helter smelters. We finally got the miner MK1. Good. Do we have foundations? We don't have foundations yet. Logistics. Guys, I never use conveyor poles. Can I make a manifold with a conveyor pole? Because I never use these, I wait for the other thing. I think I can. Do they line up? Can you make these line... Oh, where's the indicator to line these up? Did I just make a manifold? I gotta make them the same height, obviously. Did I just make a manifold? We'll try that out. I don't know if anyone uses that early on until we get the other thing unlocked. Okay, let's go. What's next? Okay, foundations, that's next, that's good. Good, we want this, splitters, and we want... this. So I can make fuel. But let's just go one piece at a time here. Did I go biomass burners? Yikes. I just prefer to make the fuel with, you know, instead of me running around picking up stuff. And with the chainsaw, I can get a lot of wood to make fuel, automated fuel. Make some concrete, boys. Zell. I almost want. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's true. I almost want them to delay Starfield. I'm not ready for it yet. I would rather them delay it to the end of the year, and then we have Diablo 4 in June to kind of sink into. Now, Diablo 4 is going to be good for streaming, quote unquote, because you know they're going to do loot drops and all that kind of stuff. That's the good part. The bad part is there'll be 90,000 people streaming the game. And then you got all the view botters, and who knows, maybe there'll be hot tub streams of them streaming, frickin' Diablo 4. Who knows? every streamer. Do you think Asmongold is not going to be streaming day one or early for a game he doesn't care about? I think the people that are going to do good are the PoE. Quinn. There's a lot of PoE streamers that they made their bones with Diablo 3. I mean, I'm going to be watching a lot of people. I don't know how much I'm going to be streaming Diablo 4. I got a lot of people I want to watch. See, I told you I'm a viewer. Guys, let me heat up this frickin' tea. Do you know it hit into the 30s in Los Angeles last night? It's all over the news. It actually got into the high 30s last night. Everyone's freaking. It's big news here. How's it going, Pat? For AI for months to generate stories, images, reviews, and even videos. Yeah, tell me more about that. Because I keep hearing about this AI stuff. I don't know about Asmongold. He does usually. Yeah, but he's going to go where the game. He's going to go. Yeah, Asmongold's going to go where the big game is. He's going to stream Diablo 4. I guarantee it. At least until things die down. The big get bigger on Twitch, and he earned his own audience. He didn't view bot to get big. So I have a lot of respect for Asmongold. It's going to be 66 there. Zell, I'm telling you, I may hate Starfield. Literally, I may end up hating it. It may just be too slow for me. Log in this thing. You're talking about like Chat GPT, that kind of stuff. That's like the big buzzword now. We went from cloud computing now we're going into AI. Zork, thank you for coming in today. I do appreciate it. Anyone new that came in today, came in with Zerofax Raid. Thank you, Zerofax. I feel really good right now. So many people came in on the Zerofax Raid and chatted and said hello. We even had other streamers, very noteworthy streamers, like BL Andrew, DC Wan, Zerofax, of course. And it's always good to visit with them. You guys, I do appreciate those people that came in. Thank you so much. Let me heat this up and then we'll get back to the gameplay, gaming talk, etc., etc. Thanks, guys. Zell and log in. We'll continue this conversation. Hey now. Ah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how that AI stuff's going to work out. That's all I keep hearing about. Isn't it just a search engine on, like, steroids kind of thing? Let's go!
Milestone reached. You have unlocked several structures aimed to provide the first needed to build
Foundations.
infrastructure and improved overview. Building these will provide a grid for more advanced organizing and sectioning of your factory.
Gotta have this. Guys, let's go make some rods. I like to get to a certain point before I actually start making machines. When I have the power set up, biomass burners. With plenty of power, so I don't have to keep, like, making fuel. So I might do things manually a little bit further than other people, possibly. The first thing I make, automated, probably is going to be concrete. So I can make foundations. Well, Login seems to be impressed with it so far. ChatGPT was co-started by Elon Musk, wasn't it? Any new players watching this?
Milestone exchange concluded. Fix-it freighter re-entry complete.
One of the things I didn't know early on was, I mean, you can go hands-free on this manual crafting stuff. You can go hands-free. Roll the cursor over this and just press the space bar. You don't know how you probably don't realize how long I went playing this game before I knew about that. I think when I first started playing or whatever, I think I used a weight or something to hold down the left button. Yeah, it has snowed in LA. We were, like, not in LA, but on the outskirts. Like, LA is just this huge... It's a bunch of cities here. In 1969, it snowed. I can't remember when it snowed after that. I just remember around, it was 1968 or 69. Most of you weren't born then, I know. It sounds like Zell is not a fan of AI. Yeah. Whenever something new comes out, cloud computing, which I think basically is just another name for client server, which came out in the 80s. Cloud computing. AI. To me, the first thing I think of is someone is coming out with stuff, they're going to try to make money off of us. It's the first thing I think of. Call me jaded. We got to grind this out to get to the goodies. Everyone told me we were going to get 1.0 in this game. Next, there is no update 8. Apparently that's not true. But update 8 is going to be small. But update 7 was small too, and look at what they gave us. One of the best things in this game, the blueprint. They always over-deliver. Fans, I don't know, Zell. I just keep hearing about it, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, yeah, someone's going to try to charge. It's about someone's trying to make money somewhere. LA, I mean, LA kind of like, when I say LA, it's like a conglomerate of many, many cities. LA County, let's call it LA County. The city of Los Angeles is, that's mostly freeways and office buildings. Only the homeless can afford to live there. Let's go, guys. Just keep unlocking. Let's make some plates. I turned up the graphics to maximum since yesterday. So as we're moving through some environments, it should look very pretty. Well, I don't know. I keep hearing about students using the AI to generate research papers or essays, which kind of takes it to the next level, because we were doing that like even back in the old days when we had physical dictionaries. Remember the Encyclopedia Britannica? That we were doing the same thing back then, but now it's much more automated. most of our papers we wrote as students came from the Encyclopedia Britannica. But at least with Google search, you're forced to read a little bit and then put things together. If you have an AI writing a complete paper for you, you're not going to get much out of it. Being insulting people, yeah, I don't know. I don't really follow it. I just heard some talk about it, and I'm like, I did a search just to see what ChatGPT was, because I started to hear about it. Now, to even call it AI is, I think that's a misnomer, because there's nothing artificial about it. Correct? AI to me means something that starts thinking on its own, that has creating its own, And I don't think we don't have something that starts thinking on its own. I don't consider that to be AI. It's just a really good coagulation of data and access to that data. See how they come up with these buzzwords? There ain't no artificial. Artificial would be like thing starts thinking for itself and learning on its own. No. It's learning. That's just grabbing data. It's not learning. You programmed it to go and grab this based on this, based on this. That's not artificial. Artificial is something you would see like in these movies, where the systems like HAL, don't think about any new movies. Go back to the late 60s with 2001: A Space Odyssey, where the machine thinks for itself and goes into self-preservation mode. That's late 60s. Now that's AI. When a machine goes into a mode where they're like, I have to self-preserve, so I'm going to find out what you're talking about, so I could try to prevent you from shutting me down. Holy frick. The machine was never taught to do that. It decided to do it on its own. That is artificial. So you can go back to the late 60s. 2001, Space Odyssey. A movie that kind of made no sense to me because I was very young when I watched it. I don't know if it makes any sense to me now. That's pretty good, Zell. Okay, let's see if we can continue with the unlocks. Logistics. Okay, good. We're going to get splitters, conveyor lifts, and productivity display. Good. Yeah, we need the MAM. We'll just go through one thing at a time. But I need... Well, and then I need this. I need this. We'll start building some stuff. Boom.
Hey now.
I don't know, Hideo. Well, I mean, you know, they have, is it free on YouTube? I've been, there's a couple of movies I just watched on YouTube, free. The Apartment from 1959, and Tootsie. Remember Tootsie? Okay, how we doing here? We're doing really good. I'm not going to make any equipment yet. I want to get biomass burners down and get a lot of fuel for them. So we're going to do a little bit more manual. I need to make... how are we doing? Let's make some more rods and then make screws. Well, you know, I mean, look at what's happening right now with Twitch. You already have VTubers, which is really starting to get more and more ubiquitous. And I think there's actually applications where you just create your own now. So you don't have to buy from others. You can create your own VTube image, sprite, or whatever they call it. So why not go to the next step? Where someone else, you know, talks for you while you're streaming. They call it a model. So I could be playing this game. Yeah, I think Avatar is the one I've seen. I could be playing this game, have the model up, and it could sample my voice, and then based on what I'm doing in the game, you know, it can talk, and then it can also read chat. That's going to be pretty complicated, though. So I'm seeing a lot of that now, the VTuber stuff. It's better than no cam at all. To me, no cam on Twitch, you're not helping yourself, especially a new streamer. At least VTubing is something. It's better than no cam at all. The only problem with the VTube, sometimes the image is just too big. It just takes up too big of a part of the screen. Yeah, I don't know why they make it so big. I'm not saying it has to be small. Yeah, some people are really put off by the VTubing thing. I've been watching quite a few streams that have it, and, you know, I'm okay with it. How's it going, Negativist? Thank you. I remember you. Yeah, guys, we're second day back after a long break. And, I'm just trying to, like, I'm doing a new save. And the intent is to help new players, but I don't think it's actually working out too well so far. So this is just going to morph into a new save. That's going to be heavy on... I want to do a lot of vehicles. So it's going to... This ain't going to be like a tutorial series anymore. There's just like... It's just going to be a new save. I changed my mind. Let's make some rods and then we're going to make some screws. Space. Pretty soon we're going to take a break. Oh, I got a message. I got two computers. One is my old gaming computer. That one is hooked up to a monitor. That's where the chat is. I got my main computer. I call it my Wolfson computer. I got two monitors there. One to play the game. Well, the other one I see OBS going. Blah, 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 blah. All the Satisfactory sim stuff is up on there. Thank you for the lurk. Really, you heard the devs are making a new game? Oh, they should. Thanks, Nick. They should. Because the reputation for Wolfson is so bad, it doesn't matter what they do to the game. It's not going to help. They might as well. Okay, we need 300 screws, guys. Oh, luckily I made a bunch of wire. We've got 3 pure nodes to work with here. All close to each other. That's why I like this place as a starting area. The first big goal, big goal, is going to be to get to coal power, so we can automate power. Then the fun begins. Another, maybe, I don't know, maybe Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro decided, hey, let's get the people that make Wolfson to make Magic Legends. They can't be any worse than what Cryptic did. Neverwinter made money in the last year because that was the parent company, the new company that came out with their statement said the purchase of Perfect World really helped them with the revenues for Neverwinter and Star Trek Online. I don't understand. I just didn't think there'd be enough people playing like those games to generate to make it to where the parent company would say, wow, we're really glad we purchased Perfect World and Cryptic. I think the cost to run Star Trek, the cost to run Neverwinter is probably really low because the investment was made years ago. And I think most of those workers are probably working from home still. So I think the cost to run the game is really low. Ooh. Wait.
molecular analysis machine, referred to as the MAM, will allow R&D to provide new technologies, items, and buildings based on samples collected in the field. To ensure a greater chance of success during exploration, an upgraded tool belt has been provided, as well as an object scanner and beacons.
I've never looked at the
Object
inbox.
scanner requires calibration via the MAM to enable detection of specific objects.
Assembler. Okay, we're close. We're close to where I want to be. I never unlock jump pads. Never. Let's make screws. More screws. Yeah. Yeah. We were all here log in for Wolson. The game, like, the game wouldn't even run. We couldn't play. And then Quinn immediately came in and see, he has people helping him. They probably told him exactly what he needs to do to dominate. And that was the blade thing, which is what I was using too. It made the game, like, easier. It was just a mess. The whole thing was a mess. And they made a bunch of changes to the game. Good ideas that were never tested by us. They were part of launch, and they felt they were forced to launch because they had so many false starts. When all they had to do was stay in beta. Why have official launch? Just say we're still in early access. Just like, just like this game. Just say we're early access. Magic Legends should have done the same thing. Stay in early access with the right to wipe at any time. That was the big mistake they made with Magic Legends. Saying, everything you do, your persistency is going to be saved all the way through launch. Huge mistake. The exploits for gold started on day one with Magic Legends, but they had their backs up against the wall. They couldn't wipe because they sold a bunch of stuff and promised that no wipes. How could you go into, you called it open beta, and say that people get to save what they've done? The only reason you did that is because you want to sell stuff during open beta. You took that risk. When what you could have done was gone into open beta or early access with the right to wipe every week if you wanted to. And you could sell packages for the game. Founders packs, that kind of stuff. That just like early access packages, stuff that doesn't even take effect until the game actually launches. Or things that are persistent, but they just don't matter if you do wipes. They'll just be there again. Coming out into open beta with Magic Legends and saying everything you do is saved was like, why would you even do that? Why would you make that kind of promise? It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Okay, guys, we're ready for the next unlock. We're going to take a break, come back, and get back into it. Thank you guys for coming in today. And as time goes by here, we'll be kicking it up a notch, start really making some factories and stuff like that. And this game is, when you start new, it's like you already have to talk about not just hundreds of hours, but well over 1,000 hours just to get kind of really get going. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. Hey now. Hey now. Thank you. Thank you guys. Okay, let's see what's next. Parts assembly, waiting for resources. Do I have what I need? Let's make plates. I should have more, hey now, dealy bobs on here. Hey now. We are supposed to be getting a deep dive for Starfield at some point. Depending upon time of day, blah, blah, blah. I might cover it live, or I might not. I could literally spend the rest of my gaming life on this game. Literally. I haven't even tried to make, like, good looking structures. And then we got more stuff coming. I'm a little bit like this 1.0 with this Earth needs medicine or whatever. I don't know. I'm not that excited about it. Just want a whole bunch more tiers. I want being able to process plutonium waste. Some new things. Well, I don't know what we're going to do with the SAM ore. That's probably going to be part of the next tiers. Pretty soon here, we won't be manually making things anymore. Pretty soon here. I go a little bit further, you know. I want to have plenty of fuel for the biomass burners without me running around picking weeds everywhere. I want to chop down trees with the chainsaw. And I want to use solid biofuel. Boop, 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 boop. How's it going, Uriel? McFargle, thank you guys. I see your first-time chatters. I love some of the QOL on Twitch is just amazing. It's going pretty good. We're starting a new build here. The intent was to help new players, but I don't know. I think I'm just starting a new build. That's, you know. Alien parts to be the easiest way to cover biomass. Yeah, see, I never do that. I just never do that. So I'm just going to get the chainsaw, chop a bunch of trees, feed that into like storage containers into constructors. I'm going to make leaves into solid biofuel. I'll have a nice big stack of solid biofuel, load that into the biomass burners, and then get to coal power. When I get to coal power, get enough resources together and start laying down coal generators and delete everything to do with the frickin' biomass burners. Coal power is the first big monolith moment for me in this game. This particular save, most of it I'll try to do during the stream. Most of the work. So there's going to be some, you know, boring stuff. Boring things happening, like especially like this. I don't want to make any machines or anything until I get, you know, the biomass burners going with a bunch of solid biofuel. And I want to get the sink soon so that there's a couple parts I want to buy. The lift hole thing is priority. How's it going, Lil? Oil up, oh, thank you. You've come to the right place. We're trying to make this save, kind of helping new players and stuff like that. When I get to oil, we'll be, there's an area close by this dune desert. That'll be the first oil place. But I might do it a little different this time. Probably going to I don't use vehicles very much because trains are so good. But I'm going to try to use vehicles on this save. Oil, thanks, Nick. Oil is just, just think about what you're going to do with it. Fuel, plastic, rubber. Now, later in the game, one of the best things to do is there's 2 alternate recipes, which is really good for making plastic and rubber later in the game. One's called recycled rubber, one's called recycled plastic. I'll be going over all of that eventually. Hard drives, hard drives, hard drives. I turned monster aggressiveness off, so the monsters are passive. Probably my least favorite thing to do in this game, and it's for some people it's their favorite thing to do, is getting hard drives. I don't enjoy it, to be honest, but it's something you just have to do. But making monsters passive is going to really help me get through that. Especially in the swamp. If we ever get, and you know what? I haven't even used the new tower. I don't know how good it is. Because I'm used to just relying on the sim, an external website. So any new players, we're going to put down that tower to see what it does, but I'm just used to using the sim. We need to see what that exposes. But if it just exposes nodes or whatever, I already have most of them memorized. Or I use the sim. I don't know. Does the tower replace the sim? Or is it... I don't think it does. We're going to put down a tower to see what happens. I don't know. I don't even know what happens. Now, I use the lookout tower because I need for if I'm making like roundabouts and stuff until I get the hover pack. That'll be unlocked pretty soon. All nodes, flags where the nodes are utilized. Okay. It gives info on slugs, hard drives. Oh, really? That's pretty damn good. Because I'm used to just using the sim, and I just open the map, and I'm like, oh, here's all the hard drives. It even shows the ones I've already taken. It's grayed out if I've already taken it on the sim. We'll throw it up and see what it looks like. Here's the sim. This is my map from this morning, or my save from this morning. Look what I have access to here. But I don't know. We'll throw one up and see and compare. I've got it to where I only look at pure nodes right now. Here's all the other stuff. Here's the hard drives. If I've already taken one, it'll be grayed.
WKALI Radio.
Thank you, Uriel, very much for the follow. I do appreciate that. Yeah, let's see. Does not give locations. You have to use the thing. For the understood. I don't even use that very much. Thank you for the sub, Uriel. I do appreciate that for the Prime sub. Thank you. I'm so used to using the sim for hard drives. It tells me what I need, the elevation. It lets me know if I've picked it already. This will be grayed out if I've taken it. So I'm kind of just used to using this. But we'll throw up one of those towers just to see what it does. And the scanner, I don't use that very much for hard drives, although I do at points. It comes in very handy for sure. That's great. The game needs, you should be able to play this game without going to third-party websites. You should. So it's good that they put that in there. You should be able to play this game without third-party websites. Definitely. Okay, guys. Let's continue. Let's do it one at a time.
Milestone.
Okay, we just unlocked
Parts can now be automated.
some cool stuff.
Assembly parts can now
Not, I don't care about this stuff right now.
be space elevator. No,
This is what I want.
complex to produce by hand.
This is what I want. Then we'll get the biomass burners up. Then we'll automate, that should unlock biofuel, I hope. Solid biofuel. Thank you, Uriel, for the follow and the sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, does not give location, but it'll say things like 10 slugs in the air. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we'll throw one up. I'm going to take a guess that the sim probably has more. But it's nice to have things that are in the game to look at. Convenience. I don't know at what point I should start going for hard drives. Soon, probably. There's a good one for screws. As soon as we get this next thing unlocked, I think we can go ahead and start some automated production. Once I get the biomass burners up, chop a bunch of trees and automating the fuel, make the fuel. One thing I don't, generally speaking, what I don't do is, because I did it when I first started playing, generally speaking, I do not run conveyor belts between factories. Within factories, yes. Generally speaking, I don't run them between factories. My main save now, which is my last save, it was all trains, moving things around. I think on this one, I'm going to try to use vehicles to move things between factories within a biome or within a logical location. And then use trains for between biomes. I don't know if that's going to work out. If I do use vehicles, I think it's going to cause me to slow down even more. I got to build roads and ramps and truck stops inside, front-facing factories with truck stops. How do I want to lay it out? I don't know. But we want to get coal power. We got to get to coal power. But once I have this chainsaw, I'll be able to automate. I'll be able to make a lot of biofuel for the biomass burner, so I get us by for a while. And then we'll probably just throw down an assembler somewhere with a couple storage containers going in to make like the smart plating for the space elevator when we get to that point. Hopefully today we get... I'm not doing this. I can't wait to make it to where I don't have to do this anymore. Get some NK1 miners up. We'll probably put a factory right here that makes plates. And... yeah, plates. And then we'll split off one belt just to put ingots into a storage container so I can make rods and screws from it, just to kind of get us by. Or we just take this one node and we just make it all. For now. This node is a pure node. It's going to be with me throughout the entire play of the game. So maybe we'll take this node, we'll make... ingots, and then we'll go ahead and make plates, rods, and screws. Right here on this node. So maybe we'll have like 3 floors, I don't know. I need to get some slugs and then get research going, and then we got to overclock to get better production stuff like that. But I think it's pretty good. We'll see. When we get to, like, that's the perfect question. In fact, we covered this yesterday, because I started doing this yesterday. My opinion is that the desert, which is where I am, is the best starting location. And this, where I am right now, is my favorite starting location. It's the desert. Then you go east. We have a pure... I'll walk these nodes to show you. It's my favorite starting location. And the game gives recommendations. And me personally, I don't agree with their recommendations. I like starting on pure nodes because then those nodes are going to be with me forever throughout the life cycle of the game. Is the map up? Oh, the map is up. So I started in the Dune Desert. And then I came east. Here's the water over here. And yeah, and absolutely, like I always have to qualify. I always have to qualify. My favorite starting place. Everyone's got their favorite. I'll tell you, for me personally, the green zone, which is what they recommend for new players, is my least favorite starting place. After all these, maybe because I was there so much, it's my least favorite place now. I don't want to go there. I only go there to make derived factories late game. You know, it's just a nice big area to make derived factories eventually. My favorite is the desert, and I like coming over here to the east, right here. Here's a pure iron node right here. And then plenty of trees. You'll be into coal before you run out of, you know, trees and stuff. Here's a pure copper node. And by the way, the Dune Desert is loaded with pure nodes. Now, yeah, loaded with pure nodes. So here's a copper node. Yeah, the green area is my least favorite place to start. Even though they recommend it for new players, I'm like, I've started there so many times, I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I don't like it. I like this area. Here's a copper pure node. This stays with me forever. I put some little starter factory here, but it's a pure node. I'll eventually turn this into probably, I don't know, a wire factory, a cable factory, a copper sheet factory. No, copper sheet factory I want to make sure to be near water. But, you know, this stays with me forever as a pure node. I start building foundations here, I ain't tearing it down. I'll be adding to it. So here's that pure iron node, which where our hub is right next to. And the big three that you start out with here is here's a pure limestone node right here. Right here, pure limestone. Over in this area over here, there's 2 pure coal nodes. There's some normal quartz nodes over here when you need them. Not good for endgame, but just good to have. This biome is just loaded with pure nodes. Right over here, when the time comes, there's a boulder here, but right there is a pure Caterium node. Right there. There's a couple of coal nodes near the water over here, which I use for coal power. And there's some more coal nodes over here. I can run that coal over. The pure coal nodes that are over here, and then there's a couple of normal ones to the west. I pretty much use those for steel production, not for coal power. So I like this area to start. Obstacle clearing.
Milestone reached. Biofuel will ensure maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, you are now capable of removing foliage that consists primarily of wood. Additionally, R&D inflated your pocket dimension.
A little bit more grinding, guys. We're going to make a chainsaw. We're going to make some solid biofuel for it. And then we're going to make biomass burners. Then we're going to set up some automated production to make the fuel for the burners. Then I start working on the factories. We'll have a storage container full of biofuel to where you could keep stuffing it into the biomass burners. First place just found oil and everything is so far away. Yeah, if you start out in the green area, I mean, that's fine. You're, oil is, you're gonna have to, like, you're not gonna find, like, everything you need in, like, one biome. So you need to kind of, you're going to have to make a decision. Like, here is my, initial factories and stuff. And, okay, I just unlocked, let's say, oil. Oil's way over here. Pretty long walk. Now, the question is, how do you get there quickly? The items the stuff that's there, how do you get it? How are you going to move things around? So there's some decisions to make. There are people that go over to oil, and they actually run pipes all the way from oil back to their main base. And then they process that oil back at their main base. They're actually, that's an option. I've done that when I first started playing, and I would never do it again, me personally. Now, to get back and forth between the two locations, it's either like you could drive a vehicle, you could create a road, you can use hypertubes when those become unlocked. Now, if you start making stuff there that you may need, what are you going to do? Are you going to use conveyor belts, which is what a lot of people do? New players? Well, I'll just run a conveyor belt all the way from the oil back to my base. It don't cost no power. It moves things. A lot of people do that. I'll make plastic there at the oil place, and I'll just run a conveyor belt back and start stacking conveyor belts. To automate it. You can use vehicles. You need fuel for the vehicles. You have to record the path. It's kind of, Now, you want to talk about the Cadillac. You want to talk about the best way to move goods. Yeah, that's right. That's what a lot of new players do. They just run. I don't need any power. I just run a bunch of conveyor belts all over the map. I've done that. Vehicles was a way to get around that. Now, what you could do is you could create hypertubes over to the oil fields. If you need some plastic, hypertube over there, grab some plastic, bring it back, manually. And so there's a bunch of options. Now, what they did originally was they gave you vehicles that you can use macros to record the path. The vehicle can go get stuff. Maybe you also make packaged fuel at the oil fields so that you can stock like fuel into the vehicle, blah, 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 and have the vehicle move stuff back and forth. It's, that's one way to do it. But what I need to make? Screws? Let me just see what I need to make here. I need to make plates and screws so I can make a few reinforced plates. Ultimately, and if you've got a new build, this isn't going to be much of a help. Ultimately, the best way to move things around is going to be with trains. I don't think that kind of advice doesn't really help a new player. If you're here with your hub, and you need stuff from the oil fields, you're not ready for trains yet. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a hypertube from here over to the closest oil, so I can get back and forth real quick. Normally, I would continue to do these things like that until I get train technology unlocked. But on this particular build, I do want to use vehicles more. I personally feel like trains have made vehicles somewhat obsolete. So I want to do some more vehicles on this one. So this build's going to be a little bit different. But normally I would just go build a hypertube to the oil fields, build stuff there. If I need plastic, I just go over there and grab a bunch, bring it back, store it in a storage container to be used to make whatever until I get trains unlocked. So some of my monolith moments in this game under normal circumstances: coal power and train technology. So I might just use hypertubes to go back and forth until I get trains unlocked. That's, if you already know how trains work, easy to say. Learning trains definitely takes some time, I think. But I've seen a lot of new players take to train technology like it's nothing. They probably played Factorio. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Okay, I need 5 reinforced plates. How dare any new player be so good with trains so quickly after what I went through trying to learn them? It's not fair. How's it going, Moonraven? Yeah, thank you. Racetrack, yeah, and a lot of people do that as well. What a lot of people do is they start playing the game. They do this, they do that, they do this, they do that. And they've learned, they're like, oh, wow. Look what I just learned. You know what? My next save, I'm going to implement this. Hey, look what I just learned. And then all of a sudden you're saying to yourself, wow, that's like 3 things. You know what? Let me just start over. You won't be the first person that does that. A lot of people start over. Iterations. And then you're going to start over, and there's a good chance you're going to start over again at some point in the future because of what you've learned. Totally normal. Let's go ahead and make some these. I'm going to need these anyway. Let's make a nice little stack of these. Yeah, Moonraven, I took 3-4 months off. Yesterday, we did a stream yesterday. No hoopla, no,